How's it, grade 11s? So I'm going to be going through that worksheet that you guys got, the exponential equations with factorization. I have sent it to you on the WhatsApp, so you guys can follow from them. So question 1, all of these questions are solve for x. Okay, so question 1 is x to the half minus 5x to the quarter plus 6 equals 0. Okay, so what I want you guys to note with these things is whenever you get an exponent that is half the other one or double the other one, okay, you're going to be using a trinomial. So if I look at my highest exponent here, which is a half, and then the lowest is a quarter, we can see that this one is double that one. Okay, so it is going to be a trinomial. And we factorize it just like a normal trinomial. So what we do is we take half of the bigger one, and if you guys don't know what half of a half is, you can just take 1 over 2 divided by 2, and you'll see you get a quarter, which is that one coming out there. So I take half of this, which would give me x to the quarter, and then x to the quarter goes in here as well. Then the factors of 6, that'll give me 5, and you remember we need to get to minus 5, and both the signs need to be the same. So this would be 3 and 2 minus minus. Okay, and guys, you can check if you've gone wrong. So that times that, we add the exponents, so we get x to the half. That times that will give us minus 2x to the quarter. That times that will give us minus 3x to the quarter, so minus 2x to the quarter. Minus 3x to the quarter gives us minus 5x to the quarter. Then minus 3 times minus 2 is minus 6. So we factorize correctly. The next thing I'm going to do is solve for each one of these separately. So we get x to the quarter is equal to 3, or x to the quarter is equal to 2. Okay, now to get the x on its own, I need to raise this to the power of 4, raise that to the power of 4. So those will cancel, and you're left with x is equal to, now 3 to the power of 4, guys, again, you don't need to use your calculator. 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3, 27, 27 times 3, 81. Okay, likewise over here, I'm going to raise this to the power of 4, raise that to the power of 4, and we get x is equal to, now 2 to the power of 4, again guys, no calculator needed. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16. Okay, and there's our answer. Right, number 2. X to the 2 over 3 minus 7x to the 1 over 3 plus 10 equals 0. So again, one exponent is double the other exponent. You can see that this one is double that one. Okay, 2/3, 1/3. So we're going to use trinomials. And remember, what we do is we take half of this one, so half of that one will give us this, which is x to the third, x to the third. And we're going to factorize this. So the factors of 10, that will give me 7, it's 5 and 2. That's telling us the signs must be the same, and that's a negative, so it must be negative, negative. Okay, so we get x to the 1 over 3 is equal to 5, or x to the 1 over 3 is equal to 2. I'm going to raise this to the power of 3. I'll raise that to the power of 3. So x is equal to, again, no calculator needed, guys. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is 125. Okay, likewise on this side, raise this to the power of 3. Raise that to the power of 3. X is equal to, 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. All right. Going on to question 3 now. We've got x to the 1 over 3, x to the 1 over 3 minus 1 equals 2. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute this x to the 1 over 3 inside the bracket. So we're going to distribute it with that term and with that term there. So if bases are the same and we're multiplying, we add the exponents. So that'll be a third plus a third is 2/3. That times that will give us minus x to the third. And then if I bring this to the other side, minus 2 equals 0. Now what I want you guys to remember is that there is an invisible 1 there, and we're going to use that when we factorize. Okay? Again, you can see one exponent is double the other exponent. So we factorize this using trinomials. We take half of this, which will give you this. So it's x to the 1 over 3, x to the 1 over 3. The factors of 2, that will give you 1. Well, it's just 2 and 1. Then this is telling us that the signs will be different, and this needs to be negative, so the bigger one must be negative. Okay. So we can solve for it now, and we get x to the 1 over 3 is equal to 2, or x to the 1 over 3 is equal to minus 1. Okay. Now, guys, just be very careful with this. I'm just having a look at this one. Because our denominator is an odd number, we can have it equal to a negative. I'm just going to write here just as an example. If we've got something like this, that won't be able to happen. Okay, we can't have that because it's an even number. Right, so over here, I'm going to raise this to the power of 3, raise that to the power of 3. We get x is equal to 8. I'll raise this to the power of 3, raise that to the power of 3. We get x is equal to, now be careful with this one, because negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1, times another negative 1 is negative 1. Okay. Going on to question 4. We've got 2x to the half minus 3 equals x to the quarter. I'm going to take everything to the one side. So we get 2x to the half minus x to the quarter minus 3 equals 0. And just notice how I've ordered it, guys. So it's highest power of x down to the lowest. Okay. Having a look at my exponents, we can see one is double the other one. So a half is double a quarter. So it's a trinomial. And what we do is we take half of this, which will give us x to the quarter, x to the quarter. Now, we've got this number in the front, so 2 is a prime number, so we can only have 2 and 1 there. And then the factors of 3 are 3 and 1, but now just remember we need to try and get to minus 1 here. So the 3 must come here, the 1 must go there, and this is going to be a plus, and that's going to be a minus. Okay, guys, please make sure you know how to factorize your trinomials. Okay, if not, go back to your grade 9 notes. So from here, I can solve for this. So x to the quarter is equal to 3 over 2. Just remember, I take the 3 to the other side, and then I divide by 2, and that's how I get that. And here we get x to the quarter is equal to minus 1. Okay. I'm going to raise this to the power of 4, raise this to the power of 4, and we get x is equal to, now, 3 to the power of 4 is 81, 2 to the power of 4 is 16. Right, so guys, with this one, there will be no solution for this one here. Just because we've got the even denominator is equal to a negative. Okay, so no solution there. Then number 5. Number 5, we've got x to the quarter, 3x to the quarter minus 5 equals 2. Again, just distribute this in. So if bases are the same and we're multiplying, we add the exponents. So we get 3x to the 2 over 4. Now, guys, I know that's going to be a half, but I'd rather say 2 over 4, and you'll see why in a second. And then minus 5x to the 1 over 4 take this to the other side, minus 2 equals 0. Okay, so we can see now that the 1 is double the other one. So we factorize it, take half of this, which is going to be that, so we get x to the quarter, and now because 3 is a prime number, we know that this is just going to be 3 and 1, and we need to try and get to 5. So the factors of 2 is 2 and 1, so this must be 2 and 1. That must be a minus, that must be a plus. Okay, so solve for this, we get x to the quarter is equal to minus 1 over 3, or x to the quarter is equal to 2. Okay, again guys, we've got an even denominator is equal to a negative, so this cannot happen, no solution. Okay, this one is fine. We can go raise it to the power 4, raise it to the power 4, and we get x is equal to 16. Okay. Right, question 6. We've got 5x plus 7 root x minus 6 equals 0. What I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm just going to get rid of the surd. Now remember, I'm going to be using this. And that's how we get rid of the surds, just so we can get an exponent. So we get 5x, and now I'm just going to fill in my missing one here, plus 7x to the half minus 6 equals 0. So you guys can see we have one exponent is double the other exponent. So it's a trinomial. Let's factorize it. Okay, take half of this exponent, which will give you that. So we get x to the half, x to the half. This is a prime number, so we know it must be 5 and 1. And we are trying to get to 7. So let's just see here. If I make that 2, I get 10. So this will be 2, 3. And that must be the plus, and that must be the minus. Okay, so from this one here, we get x is equal to, x to the half is equal to 3 over 5, or x to the half is equal to minus 2. Okay, so for this one, because we've got this even denominator, cannot be equal to negative, so no solution. The only one we're going to get is this one over here. So I raise this to the power of 2, raise this to the power of 2. Those will cancel, and you get x is equal to 9 over 25. Okay, number 7. We've got 2x plus 7 root x equals 15. Get rid of the surd, and I'm also going to put the 1 over there, so we get 2x to the 1 plus 7x to the half. Take this to the other side, minus 15 equals 0. Again, grade 11s, we've got one exponent is double the other exponent. So I take half of this one, which will give us that. Okay, 2 is a prime number, so I know it must be 2 and 1. And now we're trying to get to 7 with that. So if I make that 5 and make that 3, we will get the 7. So that times that will give us 10, and then minus will give us the 7. Okay, let's solve for this. So we get x to the half is equal to 3 over 2, or x to the half is equal to minus 5. All right, so square this side, square that side, and we get x is equal to 9 over 4. This one over here is no solution, because even denominator equals to a negative, it's not going to happen. All right, last one, guys. Question 8. Let me see. Let me do it on the side. Okay, so question 8. X to the minus 1 minus 20 is equal to x to the minus 1 in a square root. Let's get rid of the square root. So we get x to the minus 1 minus 20 is equal to x to the minus a half. Okay, take that to that side and we get x to the minus 1 minus x to the minus a half minus 20 equals 0. So as you guys can see, the one exponent is double the other exponent. So I take half of this one, so we get x to the minus a half, and then x to the minus a half equals 0. Okay, factors of 20, that'll give us 1, so it's 5 and 4. This must be minus, this must be plus. So we get x to the minus 1 over 2 is equal to 5, or x to the minus 1 over 2 is equal to minus 4. Okay, so what I need to do now, guys, is I need to raise this to the power of minus 2. Okay, remember we want to try and get rid of this, and that's why I raise it to the power of minus 2. What I do to this side, I must do to that side. So here we get x is equal to 5 to the minus 2. Remember, we don't write negative exponents, so that's x is equal to 1 over 5 squared. So x is equal to 1 over 25. This one here, no solution, because we have an even denominator is equal to a negative. Okay, and that's that exercise for you guys. Thanks, grade 11s.